Hello, everybody. It is me, the Skelly of Apes. How y'all doing? It's Sunday. And I have, my spaghettito fell as I was getting my quick squeeze Adderall. But anyway, I'm gonna take my Adderall, and then I'll explain what I'm doing today. Alright, it has been taken. Now allow me to explain what we're gonna be doing today. Wait. I misclicked. This is what we're doing today. So, allow me to kind of like explain what in the world I am kind of doing today. So, this is an original species I'm kind of like making for Patchly's Revenge. As you can see, these are cats. But basically, they kind of like have certain abilities like flight and stuff. I don't know, I haven't really like developed much about like their abilities. But essentially they are meant to be, big cats. Like based off of some of the fluffy cat species of the world who tend to be pretty big. Like your Maine Coons, your Norwegian and Siberian forest cats, your ragdolls, those kind of cats. And essentially, the main thing I'm kind of like doing here with this reference sheet is that I am going to develop certain aspects of the designs for them. So as y'all can see, I have my little base for the facial markings that I made last night. I still need to make the base for the color chart. In fact, I might make a completely new base, or like a completely new reference sheet. It's kind of like a cat from the front, and then from the side. And kind of have them be section offed with a name for the coloring type. Like, I know I'm probably gonna name them after Transformers. I mean, I literally based the facial markings of this, off of this guy from Transformers. His name is Drift. He's one of my favorite characters. yeah, this is like the original sketch I made of them. You know, of the kitty. And this is probably going to be the, you know, Mama Heimkat that is introduced in one of the latter arcs. Around like chapter 20. Or like whichever chapter is the first of the Hydrangea Macrophylla, the arc. But essentially the big thing about the Heimkatzen is that they are kind of like inspired by Transformers in terms of like some of their markings. Like, of course, I have the Drift as one of the inspirations. But I'm probably going to have like different character inspirations. Like, probably like certain characters share certain traits. Like Ratchet, Prowl, Smokescreen, and Bluestreak all have a chevron. Let me just go into my references, because I have a whole ass folder dedicated to Transformers. You know, this thing that is kind of like a chevron. Let me just add that to that. And I'm going to make it this like teal. And I think this is probably like what I'll do for like the chevron. Like, just imagine this is like red or something. But yeah. So the color palette for these creatures are going to be kind of like heavily based on, you know, like galaxies. As originally, before I went with the name Heimkatzen, they were named Galaxy Cat as like a temporary name. Along with, you know, the temporary name for her Jaime being the realm of deities, because originally I planned on Patchouli and like her being from like a Olympus or Asgard or like place, but eventually I decided I'll just make it something different. So this is gonna be the chevron, and I'm going to refer to this kind of like as the drift coloring, or like the fade. facial marking. Because it is, you know, based off of Drift's actual, like, markings in Lost Light. Like, after him and Ratchet, you know, become a couple, he has an appearance change, and this is what one of the parts that kind of like is added. So it's kind of dramatic looking in here. You know, like drag makeup. Yeah. I'm referring to this as the drift, you know, pattern, or like the drift markings, because it's kind of like easier for me to kind of remember. What they kind of look like. If I, you know, connect them to an existing character that the markings are based on. But yeah. I also plan on having a few different eye colors. I'm probably going to base some of them off of, like, actual eye colors in the Transformers franchise, or like the optic colors that they have. Like, I know some of them have, these are like the main colors for Transformers eyes, which are blue, red, yellow, and purple. Those are the main colors of Transformer eye colors, basically. But yeah. This is gonna be what the Handcapsules kind of looks like. Of course, I'll probably like spend some time, probably like during one of the several ad breaks that will happen during the stream, to kind of like find some Transformers. This character, ow, I bit my tongue. Also, hello, Increase. Yeah, I'm probably going to spend some time during the ads to gather references for Transformers characters like Optimus Prime or something. But yes, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna have Ethernet installed to my computer later today. And I also just bit my tongue. But yeah. And there is going to be like something I do here. Basically, I plan on drawing the two different Heimkatzel they're like have their own characters and are going to be named eventually. The first one is going to be the Mama Heimkapsel because she shows up first. And then there's going to be who I refer to in my to-do list as the Elder Heimkat. And this is the Heimkat who kind of like was there when Patchouli was born. You know, protected her as a baby. That she eventually reunites with in the final arc of the story. It's like during like the end of the story. They are of course going to be very different sizes. Cause why not? Also, I made a screenshot of this and sent it to my mom, and she really loved it. Just look at her. She's so cute. She looks so polite. But yeah. Actually, there is another character I can possibly, like, make facial markings of. I'll have to see if it's probably in my artboard. I'm gonna have to scroll down for this. Okay, I found it. Let me name this layer. And yes, I'm calling this the Windblade marking for a reason. Because I'm trying to make this kind of look like Windblade. Because Windblade has, like, facial markings. Canonically, like, pretty much all her designs have these, like, facial markings. Which I believe in the IDW continuity where she first showed up, kind of, like, represented her ability as a city speaker. Or otherwise her ability to kind of, like, speak to characters like Metroplex. Because they kind of like have their own way of speaking that's kind of unique. Yeah. I'm probably gonna like go on intermission in a little bit so that I can use the bathroom. I forgot to do that before I went live because I was watching a video. that is going to be one of the various facial markings. You know. You have the chevron, drift, and windblade. I'm probably going to give them different names so I don't get copy striked or again given a cease and desist by Hasbro. Because that would be kind of bad if I, get a copyright strike because of the Transformers references I make. But anyway, I'm going to save this file and I'm going to return in a few minutes because I need to use the bathroom. Right, I'm back. It took me a while. But yeah. The silence was deafening. I probably need to, like, eventually, like, put, like, some kind of, like, sound over for, like, the intermission screen. Like, probably, like, you know, waiting room music. Something royalty free. But yeah, I have emptied my bowels. Yeah, waiting room music. Me want. Yeah. But anyway. So I'm going to make this a little bigger. Or maybe like even a lot bigger. And now I can acquire my trusty Kung Pao penis pen. And we can get started. Actually, hold on. I forget that I could just do this. Because for like the kitties, it's pretty easy to just do two curved lines. For, you know, the eyes. But yeah. Basically, I'm going to... I actually have a bunch of reference pictures I have of, like, some of my cats. And I say some, but it's, the only cat who's really going to play here is the very fluffy one. The little sponge. Whose legal name is Orangehead. But we just call her Wengie. I'm actually gonna add like this little tuft. Let me do a little bit of this. But yeah. I have a bunch of pictures of my cat Wengie, who, for those who don't know, is my very fluffy Maine Coon. She isn't even a full Maine Coon. We mostly know this because her brother her kitty had a heart complication that happened with Maine Coons. So that's how we like know she is definitely a Maine Coon. It's been a few years. Like it's nearly been like a total of 3 years since we lost her brother. So every single time she like has some sort of like health issue, we always like panic because we're like scared that she might have like some kind of like complication. Luckily, the only real thing that's kind of happening is that she's gotten kind of chunky. And she has like a little ball of fat. Like a little lump of fat. Kind of like on her back. That isn't like harmful or anything. So we don't have to really worry. But every single time she like possibly might have any health problem, my family is always just like, oh no, because of what happened to her brother. I actually might like make a reference to her brother. His name was Tux. I might like kind of like reference him some way, you know, in this game. Maybe through like the coloring of one of the cat, or one of the Heimketzel. But I'm not fully sure. Because like one of the merch ideas I kind of have for, you know, this like creation of mine is that in the LPIA there are a bunch of like posters of these specific cats. Like, probably not the Mama Heimketzel, or the Heimketzel that kind of like is, you know, Patchley's kind of friend. But like, kind of like different kinds of Heimketzel. And I feel like that would be a kind of like good idea for an art print. Or like a series of art prints, because, you know, people love cats. A lot of people love very fluffy beasts. And of course I know I eventually might like learn how to draw dogs as well. So can, you know, have something that is, you know, for the people who, you know, prefer dogs. But I think like the Heimketzel, like making a bunch of merch of them might be like an easy way to kind of like get someone interested in the story. Like, you know, maybe they like go on like a piece of social media and like they see like a post from me advertising prints for these like very uniquely colored cats, or someone who like has bought one of those like prints or stickers or something, and they're just like, oh, where are these cats from? And then they search for them, and they maybe like find my Redbubble or something, or like Big Cartel or whatever I'm gonna use whenever I like make and sell merch. And then they find out that they're from like an original story that I made, and oh, here's the link to here's a link to download the PDF of the full story with all of the images. And then they kind of like read my book. Maybe they recommend it to someone else who might, like the story. And then it kind of like spreads and spreads. And then I have a bunch of people who not only get invested in the kitty characters, but also invested in some of the main characters as well. And then I can acquire a bunch of money from merch. Maybe like eventually table at a convention. Or something like that. And I actually have a VGen account. It's actually where I plan on, doing commissions on with, Ko-fi. Yeah, I actually do have a VGen account. I actually have my commissions currently closed because of the fact you were about to suggest it. Yeah, he joined VGen like about a year ago, I think. And I actually have it like a few listings up already. In fact, I already posted some of my art on there. Which actually, let me... So this is my VGen. Right now. I did plan on having cheaper commission prices, but my mom was just like, you're underselling yourself. And I was just like, okay. So I made them a little more expensive. And of course, I have like a drop for like a very cheap, surprise me doodle. Which I kind of like. Plan on eventually having as like one of the cheaper options for my commissions. basically, it's just like, if you want something from me, but you don't want to shell like 55 whole dollars for like an icon or profile picture, then you can just like commission me for like $10 to make a surprise doodle for you. And when you like if you want to like have a like more proper illustration commissioned for like a profile picture or icon, then you have that like sketch that I can possibly base the commission off of, just with more input on your end for like any changes and stuff. Hook on to maybe price it by the hours are kind. The liner piece is cheaper, solid coloring decent, full color and shading expensive. Yeah. I kind of based the pricing of these based off of like if I'm being paid like $20 an hour. So for the Mecha Plush asset here, essentially it takes me about 3 hours to do it from start to finish. And of course it is based off of, you know, a base. And I definitely need to remake Fortress Maximus. He's looking a little bleh, especially compared to Starscream and Skywarp. But I basically base these off of like how long it takes for me to, you know, do all of them. For icons, these take me about like 2 or so hours for me to do, like from start to finish. But I also have some of my characters here, and of course some of the plushifications I have done. I'm actually going to redraw some of these very soon, like once I'm free from my semester, but this is, of course, the, you know, what I plan on being like the cover for the book. Like I even used reflective lighting here, which is something I usually don't do. But anyway, I'm gonna close that. And I'm gonna... Wait, no. I forgot to switch over to my Clip Studio Paint tab. But I'm going to switch over to this like light color. And I'm gonna have this kind of like be the, you know, like base color, like you know, because I wanna try and make like a color palette for like all the possible colors and like try and make like some equivalents to like actual cats. Because of course there's going to be the void cat. I will make void kitties sometime in the future. But all the colors for these cats, like even though they are fictional, I'm going to base some designs of them off of, you know, real life cats. So like, I'm going to base their coloring conventions after, you know, actual cats. So there's going to be like certain types of colors and coloring. Like some of them will look a little lighter than others because they are a diluted version of the color. So basically, here's an example of what that would kind of like be. Like, for those who have had like several cats in their lives, like I have, two cats who. So I have 4 calicos. One of them, her name is Wrinkle. She is a calico, but she doesn't have like traditional calico coloring. She instead has kind of like a gray color, and all of her like the black and orange spots are kind of like lighter in color, and that kind of like makes her a diluted calico. Of course, her kitty babies, her daughters, have not inherited the dilute nature of her. They are, you know, like just tortoiseshells and calicos. Also, hello Edis. But essentially, the big thing about, you know, cats is that they have different, you know, kinds of colors and, you know, how they show up. There's this gimmick blog over on Tumblr called What Color Is That Cat? And they basically they reply to Tumblr posts with cats on them, and they identify what kind of coloring they have. And it's pretty cool to see how many different cat colors are there. I actually submitted one of my own cats to them, and they identified the cat as a silver tabby. But yeah. So the main inspiration for some of the Katsu colors is going to be calicos. Because I am very partial to calicos. I literally have 4 of them. And of course, there's also going to be the Void Boys. But first, I'm gonna start off with the eye colors. So I'm gonna kind of like grab my Transformers color palette. And I'm kind of like... gotta grab these colors. These are going to be like the main eye colors. And then the fur colors are going to be a little more complicated. But I think this is like... I probably need to see if I like have a like coloring. I have this. Which is kind of like different kind of ragdoll colorings. I'm actually gonna find a color chart. Oh, there's this. References, animals. It's like very bad quality. Oh. I found a better version of it. Just let me go, and I'm gonna open this up real quick. Okay. Let me go and save this real quick. So this is a chart about like different cat colors. And oh right, ads are starting. I'll have to yap about this later. Actually, I'm gonna take this time to eat one of my Fiber One brownies. Because Yagoyo needs fiber. I also plan on making a color for the toe beans of the kitties. But yeah. I'm gonna wait for Ash to end, and then I'll return to like yap about this whole thing. Mhm. Hold on. So I don't actually know what this is like for. If I am going to take a guess, I'm pretty sure this was made for like warrior cats. Like based off of my own intuition. So essentially these are like the main version of like, you know, certain cat colorings. So there are 4 main colors, which are kind of like the base. So there is black, chocolate, cinnamon, and ginger. Probably like the most common colors you probably know from this are the black and ginger. And then there are the dilutes. Blue is the dilute of black, lilac for chocolate, fawn for cinnamon, and cream for ginger. Of course, a common shade of ginger is gold, but is still genetically ginger. And for common shades of some of the dilutes, there is dark blue and warm blue. And then there are Tories, which are cats that have a combination of both a darker color along with, you know, like orange. The most common of this is, you know, black and the black one. The regular tortoiseshell. And this is what a dilute Tortie looks like. Of course, there is like tortoiseshell with white and then calico. And then there are Torbies, which are kind of a little different because they kind of like have these markings. And these are referred to, if it has like a high amount of white spotting, they are called calabees, according to this. Yeah, these are tortoiseshell tabbies, so they have like tabby patterns. And then of course, the cat I have, which is Wrinkle, she is a dilute calico. I have like a very old like I have like this picture of Wrinkle, and as y'all can probably tell, she is a dilute calico. She has these very gorgeous green eyes too. But yeah. And of course there are like different like mutations. And apparently Sunshine and Bimetallic is like a gene for like Siberians. And then there's of course Amber. I'm probably not going to make this like this level of detail in my color chart. Heimkatzel here. But I am going to like try and, you know, have them kind of like look similar. Or enough. And I'm going to avoid having any of the colors look too close to the eye colors. It'll kind of like a rule of thumb when it comes to that kind of stuff. So like if I were to make a black color, I'd probably like do something like that. And then for a dilute, I might like have this color. So for like every single color there is, you know, for the characters, like the Heimkatzel, except for the white, there's going to be a dilute version of that color. Like a lighter version of the color. And of course I'm probably going to make a coloring based off of Optimus Prime. Because of course I would. I have a special interest in Transformers. It's on brand for me. But so I'm probably gonna have like this color. Like I'll probably have this color be like a dilute of this color. So that might not fully pass the contrast test. And I'm probably going to like have a purple. Like something like this. So for like the color, it's probably going to be like a gradient from blue and black to like pink. Because I wanted to make them look like galaxies. Which is partially why they are named like, you know, galaxy cats. In the first place. And I'm probably going to base the Mama Heimkatzel off of, you know, my cat Wrinkle, who I showed just earlier. You know, the big old mama cat who has like pastel coloring. And then there are like, for characters who have both the main color and the dilute version, those are going to be what you actually call chimeras. Those would be the actual chimeras. I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna put the head markings up here. And I'm gonna place down the colors. Also, I'm probably going to be getting my Ethernet plugged in sometime tonight. So I no longer have to like stream on the Wi-Fi. Which I have been doing for the past several years. Also, I might like make some kind of like 3D model of like so the Heimkatzel. I think this looks good. I accidentally gave this cat like colors adjacent to the transgender flag, but honestly, I accidentally gave another character the color palette of the pansexual flag, so I'll just keep this gag going. If I'm going to be perfectly honest. Just like, I imagine people like wondering if I'm like actually like if I'm like doing this like as some kind of bit, like very unsubtly giving characters like vaguely pride flag adjacent color palettes of like very specific like, pride flags, and then I just go and be like, I did this on accident at first, but then I started doing it on slight purpose. Yeah, I'm kind of like doing like these color splotches for all the colors. You know, kind of like ink splotches. But essentially, the main thing is I want to try and make this kind of like look vaguely purposeful. Of course, I'm gonna give her a little pink nose, like vaguely pinkish nose. And of course, I actually just realized she kind of looks like a clown. Honk honk, I guess. Let me just extend these. I can't believe I made her look, the Mama Heimkatze look like a clown. I can't believe it. I made her look like a clown. The poor mama cat. She looks like a clown. Unintentionally. Maybe I need to like change some of the coloring around. She looks like Harley Quinn. And this isn't even on purpose. I think I'm just gonna continue adding like random splotches of color. And then like see if I can make her look less like a fucking clown. I can just continue making her look even more like a clown. Just give her, like, give the mama cat, like, a name that is, like, just a one of the Scandinavian languages words for clown. Or maybe, like, even mention, like, have one of the characters be like, this cat looks like a clown. But honestly, I think it's kind of funny. And, you know, I occasionally unintentionally make some of my characters look like other things, like clowns. Just, it kind of feels like a bit. Like, how many of these cats are going to unintentionally look like clowns? Who knows? Clowns come in various colors. I mean, as long as I don't make any of them look like the fucking Joker, I think I'll be okay. Luckily, I don't plan on adding any green to any of these. Maybe the issue I'm having is that I'm using like a pink instead of like a purple. I'll see if this makes the cat look less super duper clowny. Actually, hold on. Maybe I could do something like this? You don't think, chat? Does the mama cat look less like a clown? I think she still looks like a clown. But it's not as bad as it once was. Actually, what is the Norwegian word for clown? It's just clone. Maybe. Apparently, there's like a Native American version of a clown called the Heyoka, which is kind of like a sacred clown shaman, and is described as a contrarian jester and satirist who speaks, moves, and reacts in opposite faction to the people around them. Only those having visions of the thunder beings of the West, and who are recognized as such by the community, can take on the ceremonial role of a Heyoka. maybe I can give the Mama Heimkatzel the name Yoka as like a reference to it. Maybe I need to like add more of the color. It's probably the amount of white that I put, on the characters. That kind of like make them look like clown. I think I made it's probably like the coloring that's making these cats look like clowns. Being a little uncooperative. Yes, I'm giving the cat big old chunky belly because this is the Mama Heimkatzel. When she arrives, she is pregnant. And ends up giving birth in like a storage closet or something. Along those lines. I can't believe I made her look like a clown. This poor mama cat. She'll never escape the clown accusations at this point. Reset the colors. And that sort of stuff, maybe. Also, ads are starting in a few minutes. Of course, given that I had an intermission about an hour ago because I had to use the bathroom at the half-hour mark, I'm not going to do any intermissions just yet. I am instead going to wait until we reach the halfway point of the dream. She actually looks kind of normal here. It's just that when I turn the coloring on, she looks like a clown. Maybe I need to like start over? Like make a new layer or something? Make her try and look less like a clown. I'm not really sure. are starting soon. Anyway, welcome to Wild Jail, everybody. Maybe I should grab a reference photo of one of my cats. So that I can make these less look like clowns. Because I have a bunch of pictures of cats. Transfer a bunch of these to my cat, you know, my album that is like full of more than 1,400 cat photos. I wonder. Actually, I'm gonna like take a moment. Invert and just straight up delete all of this. I'm gonna make 2 layers. And basically I'm gonna do this so that I like have some kind of like way of, you know, just figuring out the colors separately. So, of course, I'm going to make one paw just purple. And I'm kind of like just figuring a lot of this out. I'm kind of like just gonna troubleshoot all the design. And maybe like do this. also have this like very triangular looking picture of one of my cats. So I'm going to try and keep this chest area like relatively free of like any of the other coloring. Okay, you know, have but I'm going to make sure enough of the white spotting shows up so that y'all know this is like a calico. Of course, I'm going to give this little thing because it's kind of like what all my little torties and calicos have. They have this like little colored spot on their chin. Actually, I think I might make this a little more saturated, like a little lighter. Go ahead and do like something like this. And this is gonna make it easier for me to like change up any colors. Like you know, just in case. Like in case like, oh, this color actually does not look good, it does not pass the contrast test, I can just easily change it to something else. You know? So like if I did something like this, I think it looks pretty nice. At least in my opinion, it looks pretty nice. Of course, I'm probably going to like do something like this. But yeah. I only like draw them like once. I'm also probably gonna like make some kind of like chart. Kind of like explaining all the colors and like their real world equivalents. Like if you have a cat you want to make into a Heinkatzel, you can make them into a Heinkatzel. Hold on. I think I'll do this. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure these look like asymmetrical and like organic looking. Actually, I think this might look a little better if I switch it with this color. And if I like, if I go with the lilac, the purple color here, it's not gonna look the best. It's like super saturated. So, actually, this looks very nice. This looks nice. I think I'm cooking a little bit. But yeah, I'm kind of like heavily basing this cat off of, you know, the cats I have in real life. But I think I'll make that super saturated color and color of the nose. Or maybe I can like, oops, do that. Maybe this color? Like this one? Oh yeah, now that is a good looking cat. Let me just do a little bit of erasing. I think this is a good Mama Heinkatzel. What do y'all think, chat? Do y'all have any opinions on the Mama Heinkatzel? Y'all got any opinions on Yoka here? But yeah. Actually, remind me of that. But purple. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, purple is my favorite color. I actually remember watching like one of the animated series for Batman when I was a kid, like Justice League, and I also watched Young Justice. To see what you're thinking. I'm just glad that this cat no longer looks like a clown. Like when I first tried to do the coloring, I made her look too clowny. But anyway, I am going to name this cat Yoka. Most likely. Like, I'm probably gonna give her that name. Because this is my character and I get to name her. But, yeah. I'm actually gonna make a folder. I'm going to then make a new layer. And I'm actually going to use it like a specific, like, I'm going to use a specific character as inspiration for this one. I'm gonna base this one off of Ravage. Maybe like Earthspark Ravage? Because Ravage is like a panther that transforms into a cassette. And this is like meant to be like the other Heimcat. Of course, I'm just using the same base to like figure out the coloring and like color placement. This is not going to be what the Elder Heimcat Zell looks like. Once I kind of like solidify what they look like. I'm going to grab this pink first, and I think I'm going to make a little chevron. Grab the chevron and color. Feels like Barbie pink. And I think I'm going to give this Heimcat Etzel this like color. Yeah. So this cat is going to have like very contrasty. Appearance. solidify that this is like one of the older Heimketzel. Also, feel free to propose like any possible names for this, you know, kitty here. I'm probably gonna give them like a Polish name, or maybe like Icelandic name. I'll probably like do like some research on, you know, what are common Nova? Maybe. Nova kind of feels like something, like a very traditional name for these Heimketzel. Heimketzel and their history, like how they came to be. Or Icelandic like pet names, like in terms of like what they kind of like named their pets or like because one of the like inspirations for, you know, Jaime is Poland. Because I have Polish ancestry. I felt like it would be like a good nod to the culture. If I like, you know, named a cat after the, you know, place where some of my family came from. Even if they might not be like the best people. Distant from my, you know, from Polish culture, or because of that. I just think it would be like nice to kind of like make a nod to, you know, the places where my family emigrated from. Oh God, I just realized something. This color palette is pretty much just Blackpink. An intentional K-pop reference. Anyway, I think I'm gonna... Yeah. This is probably like the elder Heimkat who kind of like helped raise like when she was baby and toddler until her parents got divorced. And her dad got banished from pretty much their entire homeland and has to live in the forest. Don't worry, her Ashley's mom gets her comeuppance. But yeah. That's gonna start in a little bit. And once that happens, I'm gonna take a break. From drawing for like 5 or so minutes. I'm actually, like, the next thing I might do is that I'm going to make, like, a reference for the toe beans. So, like, probably gonna, make the toe beans the same color as, like, the nose. Because that's kind of what happens with, cats. But I'm going to do my intermission and I'll be back in a few minutes. returned. So I think I'm gonna take a little break from like doing the those two, and I'm gonna switch that back to yoga. And I'm actually going to make a little sketch. You know, like here. Like something kind of rudimentary first. And this is like kind of just to you know have okay, I have found a good reference. So there's like also this topping. Let me move this over here. And then like that, which is like where the dew claw is. And let's start off with a vaguish lump. Then we find these. But yeah, I might take a break. Like maybe meet myself and eat something because I'm kind of like getting hungry. But this is going to be the Hanketsu Tall Beans. mind annoying my cat and like look at her paw, but she looks very comfortable in her box. Anyway, so Beans won. So I'm going to like make this straight line. And then do that. And then this. And that is going to be the first set of toe beans. And then bean 2, which is gonna be this color. But yeah, that shall be toe beans. There's probably going to be like more colors of toe beans, but those are going to be the main two. Like in terms of toe bean scenery. Move these over to here. And I'm going to start making the line art for this. shall be our kitty. And I'm going to give the cat this base color. And then I'll give the cat this color for the eyes. And there we go. I might go and do something a little. I might do something else. Go. Maybe I'll like open up a new. I'll make a new canvas for some of the, coloring. I'd probably like make a side profile of the cat. Like something very rudimentary. And then like have them all colored differently. With a like caption of what kind of coloring it is. So yeah. And then I use this color. To block out where like all the coloring goes. So we have the chevron. We also have the drift and then the wind blade. But yeah. And then the wind blade. But yeah. I'll definitely make some other like coloring and facial markings eventually, but this is what I'm gonna have for now. to the bottom. And then so I'm gonna move this down. Then and then that is gonna be like a coloring. For the facial marking. But yeah, next week I'm going to work on a different rep sheet for like the original species of this world that I have. And that's gonna be the Kristra. I'm probably going to make some sketches before I, like do that. Though, like before I go live next week, I'm probably like over this week. If I have the time, I'm going to make some sketches for like some of the bases so that it can go a little smoother. Hey Max! My Calico has arrived. Well, she's the tortie. But I will... But this is probably going to be like them on the hind hat looks like. I know, I love you too. There has been a cat swap. Magda has left my room and Sabrina has entered. But she probably just wants food. Is going to bang on my door once she's done with her food. do some of the other stuff like later. Later, as in sometime eventually in the future. But anyway, after starting in like 5 minutes. Again, an endless loop of ads. But yeah, I'm probably going to eventually make like some kind of thing. But I think I'm gonna take a break from drawing cats. At least for right now. Because I actually made some progress on, making the outfit sheet for Dahlia. I'm going to essentially what I'm going to do right now is work on the outfit sheet for Dahlia, who is one of the main characters of Patchley's Revenge. She doesn't show up for the first first 10 chapters. So like during the first 2 arcs, she's not there because she's like on some kind of like mission or trip. I actually do not know like what the trip is. I have not thought that far. But it's just some kind of work trip. Let's just say that she was on some kind of work trip. Probably like somewhere in the Rovenia archipelago. Trying to do some research on stuff. Basically, Dahlia is like the older sister of the group. She kind of fulfills that role as like an older sister. Because she is, in fact, an older sister. But she hasn't been able to like contact her little sister in over a decade. so she's basically just the way she acts is like the way the figure she tries to be. It's kind of like her like trying to prepare herself for whenever she reunites with her little sister. Basically, she wants to, you know, try and be the best older sister or figure to the best of her ability so that when she, you know, reunites with her actual sister, she is, you know, prepared to return to that role. So she is fully aware that her, you know, the relationship between her and her sister is definitely going to be, like, very strained. Like, kind of, like, they might be somewhat distant from each other at first. Simply because they haven't seen each other in over a decade. Both of them have had major changes in appearance. I mean, the younger sister, who is Patchouli for those who don't know, literally went through puberty between the 10 years that between, you know, her and Dahlia last seen each other. And even then, it has literally been a decade. They have both significantly changed in character. And they have also both went to therapy. So they started at completely different times. Oh, ads have started. But yeah, basically, they are both traumatized, but they started therapy at different times at their lives. Dahlia started therapy somewhat later. Actually started therapy earlier because she was able to escape from their mother's grasp earlier with the help of Dahlia. So back then they had different names, and they both legally changed their names. But yeah. Probably gonna like have a snack or something, and then go back to probably like doing the cat. Yep. Doing as in drawing. And you know, just making a coloring chart. But I'm gonna continue doing some of the sketching. Anyway, I'm almost done with the sketch. I'm gonna wait for the ads to end before I continue working on the sketch and then doing the line art. But yeah. Just like a bunch of the other characters, a lot of her outfits are like relatively modest. Like most of her body is covered. Because there's kind of like a commonality of a lot of the characters having why Hydrangea wears a face mask while pretty much all other characters don't. They all have some kind of marking, some kind of scar. That kind of like makes them unique. Anyway, welcome back from ads, everybody. Essentially, a lot of the characters wear like somewhat like clothing that isn't like too revealing. There is, however, one exception to this rule. It's Lily. I actually found on her being like the character who kind of like has outfits that reveal most of her skin, except for, of course, when she's at work. Because she is a professional. Professionals have standards. And professionals do not wear short shorts. It's in a lab. Because that is a no-no. Professionals do not, but one, wear turtlenecks. And this is just for like lab safety. Like, you do not wear a turtleneck. You have to wear something that is easy to take off. You do not wear open-toed shoes, and you do not wear shorts. You have to wear pants. Which, luckily for me, I'm always wearing pants. But yeah, make some kind of contrast between Lily and, you know, some of the other characters who, you know, kind of like things going on in their lives, like, you know, physical representations of their trauma. And because Lily does not have that much in terms of trauma, she kind of like represents that, like, not really super traumatized, unlike, you know, the rest of the characters. And because of that, she, you know, is a little more free. She wears stuff that is more revealing than, you know, characters like Patchouli. Like, if y'all, like, if you look at, you know, these two characters side by side, you can definitely tell that Patchouli is way more modest. Like, even in her sleepwear, she still conceals a lot of her appearance. And that is, you know, a similar thing is kind of like done with Osmi. Most of her outfits are relatively concealing. You're alive, yippee! You're alive! Yeah. You know, these buns in Osmi's hair are actually kind of like meant to be a bit of like a way of her concealing, you know, her horns, or like her antlers. Like here. a physical representation of like trying to keep a similar silhouette all around. And of course, I decided to have this outfit have a different expression because I thought it would be a good way to break up a bit of the monotony in her expression. But yeah, most of the characters here, they kind of like have similar-ish colors and stuff. Well, not really colors, but like in terms of like how much, like how like modest the clothing is, like in terms of like hiding certain parts of the clothing of the, or you know, body. Patchouli and Dahlia do it for similar reasons. They have markings on certain parts of their body that are like kind of terrifying, and they don't want to like scare people or like be asked, hey, what's with those markings on your neck? So it's like a way to, you know, avoid having to be asked those questions. How goes? It goes well. I'm getting Ethernet installed later today, after my stream, which means I finally will be able to stream without Wi-Fi. Yeah. And in case the Wi-Fi ever goes out, I don't have to worry about any of that. Good news? What are the good news, Funfork? You got a new job besides teaching? Yippee for Funfork! But yeah. My classes are going relatively smoothly at this point in time. Which is to say that I am not failing abysmally, and I'm getting assignments done. So apparently, I'm going up to Ohio to like visit my cousin, so my plans to like stream during Thanksgiving weekend are kind of like moot. I'm gonna be away. Nice, yeah. But at least I will only have like 3 classes to do. In terms of like Thanksgiving weekend and all that stuff. Because, you know, 2 of my classes, my CPR and first aid class and my college composition 2 class, those are both ending, on November 1st. So technically my health class ends like the Monday, last Tuesday of October. Because it's, hybrid. But I'm almost done with all of the things I have for that class. I did my midterm last week. And I have like... Actually, only have 2 weeks left until that class is over. I mean, luckily I only have like 2 worksheets left. Actually, hold on. That's my syllabus. I'm gonna check. All I have to do. So I have my syllabus, and so the next class, of course, is a quiz, and then next week I have to submit my homework worksheets, which I only have 2 left to do. Then I have a quiz for the day the homework is due. And then on the 28th of October, I have a final exam. But yeah, maybe on like Halloween, and I'm going to like do a little stream. Like a way to celebrate, because I'm not going to the convention I usually go to for like November. And the reason that is because of scheduling. My lab happens on like one of the days of the convention. And I don't really want to miss my lab, so... And since I'd be having 5 classes, and I'd be at the convention like literally the day like my final exam for one of my classes is due. So I basically just went, you know what, I'm just not going to attend this year at all. Because I like to prioritize not having anxiety. Or like having to worry about some of my classes. When I spend time at a convention. Of course, I hopefully want to go volunteer at that convention again, and like hopefully next year. Or hopefully next year I'll be able to attend. But this year, given that I have like 5 classes at the current moment, I just thought attending the convention I usually go to like as a member of staff, I don't think that's really gonna work out. At least for me, because my mental health will probably like go out of whack. prioritizing my, education instead of like just going to a convention. Like, if I did not have like a Saturday lab, if I did not have to like take 5 whole classes, I would probably go and attend this year. But unfortunately, I can't. Because of all the scheduling issues. Like, hopefully, I'm getting pretty close to, I only have like, I have 8 classes left to take until I have to transfer or to a university. And luckily, pretty much all the classes I have to do are just those that, they're pretty much just all related to my major. So I can probably like stream myself doing assignments on the days certain days of the week. Like, unless I, have a scheduled class meeting on a certain day, then I'll probably like stream myself working on, certain assignments. Maybe a little bit of a hand can, depending on the type of assignment it is. But I'm definitely going to try and like, for the next like year's worth of classes I have, I'm gonna do the best I can in order to like try and balance streaming along with, getting assignments done. Luckily, because streaming is like structured time for me, I have kind of like figured out that I'm able to like do some things done like on time. So of course there are other things that I, can't really do during my semester and, stream at the same time. Like, some of my assignments are, quizzes, and I can't really share my Canvas shell with y'all as I kind of do that. Because I would dox myself. But basically, if I have a class where I know I can possibly like, do some of the assignments while live on here, I'm probably going to take the opportunity and do that so that I, am able to avoid getting myself rusty from, streaming, and I'm able to also get my assignments done on time. Understandable, yeah. that, you know, I'm getting very close to transferring. I'm probably going to, like, in the future, be a little more aggressive about promoting my commissions. Like, on some of my social media. So that I can afford shit like my textbooks. Because textbooks are monstrously expensive. Luckily, I'm not like a STEM major. I have to spend like $1,000. There's on, you know, just a bunch of textbooks. I only have to spend like a couple hundred on certain textbooks for my classes. So I'm pretty lucky with that. But it's still kind of expensive. Like, especially for like physical textbooks, which I usually try to get so that I'm not like looking at a screen all day. Those are like the most expensive. And people are often just like, oh, just, you can like just use digital textbooks. And I'm here just like, I get chronic migraines, and I like to get a physical copy if I can. Like, even then, I still like to, once I graduate and I no longer need all the textbooks I have, I'm probably going to like sell all of the ones I know I can, you know, sell, so I can at least recoup some of the cost. For, you know, all the textbooks I have, like, kind of like recoup some of the cost of, you know, my education. But anyway, I'm going to go on intermission soon. I'll return in a few minutes. This is going to be a kind of long one because I wanted to like eat something, like have a small snack. But anyway, I think at this point I can bit of this. Just erase. Bunch of this stuff. Yeah. merge those down. But anyway, I'm going to do my intermission now. I'll be back in about 5 or so minutes. so long, honey. Alright. Oh. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. But anyway, I'm back, everybody young. So alright. Now I'm going to paste this. And erase. I erased it a little too far. Then we go on. And do this. Alright. Also, I've been assembling the book nook I acquired, like, for the past few days. I'm almost done with it. I originally planned on doing, like, a hand cam, but it has a mirror, and that kind of, like, shows up my face a little bit, and obviously I don't want that to really happen. So I decided to just do it, you know, in a different way. I decided to just assemble it off stream, and I'll probably like post a picture when it's done. Alright. Now, the final lines. Also, yesterday, I was kind of like feeling icky because I got the flu shot on Friday when I went to my doctor. She's also switching me to like Vyvanse because of my sleep issues I had. So I think that happened because I took my quick release Adderall a little too late in the day. Anyway. I'm gonna start walking out a bunch of color. Yeah, my hands have also been kind of shaky recently. It's probably like nerves or something. really stop me from getting the assignments done, so I'm thankful for that. Let me just... I'm going to make sure all the colors look good. And then once I'm finished with the colors here, I'm gonna make a new canvas. And I'm going to kind of like get started on some other things related to drawing the Heimkatzel. But yeah. I'll probably during the last few minutes of stream, I'll kind of get started on making a, sheet to kind of display the coloring and stuff. For all the Heimkatzel, all the possible colorings they can have. Also, I completely forgot the little triangle here. Whoops. So the little triangle is this color. If I remember to make sure it's not on the same layer. Anyway. I believe this is almost done. I'm just going to quickly implement the colors of the shoes. And I'm doing this quickly so that I can immediately head back to doing Heimkatzel. finish my chocolate milk. I'm gonna close this. Let me open the Heim Capsule sheet. And new reference sheet. Save as. There is this greedy cat. So I'm going to be using this as a reference for the Heim Capsule base. And I'm going to use a big, kind of like biggish, you know. And I'm gonna like try to follow a bit of the contour. As relatively loosely. See, I'm gonna follow the contour of the model. Alright. This is probably going to be like the last thing I do for today. And of course, the main. And here we go. Yeah. Yeah, these probably just gonna be the, you know, I'm gonna transform this, make it a little smaller. You know, put this over here. And I'll probably like try and find like a, see if I have a side profile of my main cone. If I don't, I'll probably have to take one. Of her. Of my little sponge. But yeah. This is probably just what I'm gonna do. Also, ads are starting in 5 minutes. So, I'm almost done with one of my essays. So, I'm probably going to finish doing that like this week. I'm just gonna write another paragraph of it. And then like, you know, do the others that I have to do. Basically, I'm gonna be pretty busy for the next few weeks. But once I'm done with that, I'll post the schedule for the next for like the entirety of November and the first few weeks of December. Because I'm hopefully still gonna be able to go on my Canada trip with my family, but I'm not fully sure. But yeah. I'm gonna kind of like make some stuff. Actually, I might like move this. Have a big soft belly. But yeah. I'm a little exhausted. So I might like stream early. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel my attention span kind of going whack. But yeah. I think I can make this a little smaller. But yeah. a little Goyle. She has zoomies. Yeah, I think I'm probably like, once ads start, I'm gonna like walk around a little bit. In my room. Hi, Mans. Because my attention span is kind of like slipping. My ADHD is trying to take over. Yeah. I've been drawing for like 3 hours. Like almost 3 hours straight. Probably walk around my room a little bit. Then do the rest of the drawing stuff before like ending stream. Maybe take a nap. I don't know. But yeah. Maggie. That's a little baby. She's being silly in a box. Yeah, as they're starting. Get up and she's so silly. Stretch out. Now, return to drawing cats. But yeah. I feel like Magda's trying to distract me from streaming. Father, I caught this little baby. Chew. Hello. She's so cute. I love her so much. She's kind of getting up there in age. She's like 5 years old, but literally the youngest cat is 5. And she is the second youngest. So she's still Boppy. For context, chat, my oldest cat is like 16 years old. Going on 17. He's an old man. usually do after I finish stream. I'd take a nap, but I might mess up my sleep schedule. So I did kind of mess it up a few days ago because I went to sleep at like 5 in the morning. Anyway, welcome back from ads. So, make sure this is small enough for me to like barely see it. Oh, I forgot to switch to my line art pen. Maggie. She's being silly. But yeah, I'm gonna... do all this. And, you know... just do the line art. But yeah. And here. Also, it's very windy outside. Maybe it's the weather that's making me sleepy. That's usually what happens. The weather making me tired. Because the weather likes to mess with people. It can give me migraines, it can give me knee pain. But most of all, it can make me very, very sleepy. She's being a little maniac. But yeah. I'll end stream in about 20 minutes. I'm just gonna thicken up this line art. But yeah. I'm experiencing a little bit of carpal tunnel right now. fair, I haven't really been drawing as often because I've been busy with classes. Mindy. She's so silly. She's going feral over a box. It's absolutely crazy. Over a box. A literal box. Anyway, I think this is pretty much done. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to explain what's going to happen for the next 2 weeks. So, next week, October 19th, I am going to be drawing the Krystra. I'm going to continue working on the reference sheet for them. Then, on the 26th, I'll be probably playing Tales of Berseria again and pray that my driver does not bork itself again. Because that happened last time. So, after that, I'm going to post my schedule for November 2nd to December 8th. And that will be, 2 streams a day. I mean, not a day, 2 streams a week. Because I'll only have 3 classes in total. Well, my geology class, my quantitative reasoning class, and my support class for quantitative reasoning. So I'll be able to work on more stuff. And I was streaming during Thanksgiving and weekend, but I'm visiting family, so I can't really do that. I don't know, can I? So instead, I'm probably just going to, spend time, with family. Be up in the Midwest. And, yeah. But yeah, that is probably just gonna be it for me. I'm gonna be spending the next two weeks like grinding on assignments. Like I have a bunch of stuff to do over like the entirety of October. Or like for the rest of October, since we're almost in the middle of it. But hopefully by the time Halloween happens, I will be completely caught up on all of my courses. But I think I'm actually gonna end stream. I know it's kind of early, but my attention span is kind of like going all whack on me. So I think it's a good idea if I, end it now instead of later. Because, you know, I need some time to recuperate, and then I'll have to, you know, work on a bunch of stuff. So, yeah. I will be here next week on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, I'm just gonna end stream so that I can, you know, do stuff. Bye!